Welcome back to the channel. For those that have not been here before, my name is Ron Durant. I'm a photographer in East Tennessee. In this video, I want to talk to you about setting up your Nikon camera for exposure bracketed shots, also known as HDR. I'm using the Nikon Z6ii, but this is applicable to many different Nikon cameras, and it may work for you in yours. The menu options should be about the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the camera settings first. I've already taken the photographs on location. So what I'm going to do is load those into the computer into Lightroom and show you how I process those images. Okay, I have brought you into the camera menu so you can see how to set this up. And I'm using my Nikon Z6ii. And this is the menu system for that. Most Nikon cameras are similar, and some of the newer ones have a shortcut menu called the I menu. And I'm going to show you that first so you can see. The first thing I do on any camera I get is I customize the I menu. So I'm going to go down to that area, which is the custom settings menu. This is a little pencil icon. And I'm going to move over to the right, and I'm going to go down to F, which is controls. And I'm going to say customize I menu. Now, if you'll look, this is my customized I menu, and these are the items I've selected. You can change any of these you like by just selecting it and then picking another option. You can pick any of these and it becomes that box. So it's just like a shortcut menu. One of the things I put in here is bracketing, auto bracketing, and I put that in here. And another thing I put in here is my release mode. That would be like for your timers and your single shutter and what have you. So now that I have those set up in my I menu, all I'm going to do is press the menu button and I'm done. Now I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go into the shooting mode of the camera, and I'm going to hit the shutter button, and then I'm going to hit the I for the I menu. So the first thing I want to do is I want to turn on the auto exposure bracketing, which is this right here. It's already turned on. The options are, if you take this number of shots down to 0, it'll turn it off, okay? And now it's set for off. What I want to do is I want to take a 5-shot bracket, and we're going to show those pictures in a minute. So I'm going to go down here to the number of shots and tell it to select 5. My increment for this particular scene will be 1-stop increments, okay? Now I hit the OK button to go back to the I menu. And then I set up my timer delay, my self-timer, and if you push the down arrow on the 2-second timer, you get different amounts of time, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. That's a delay before the shot is taken. But you can tell it how many shots you want to take. So since I set my HDR up for 5 shots, I'm going to tell it to take 5 shots. Normally this is set for 1, okay? Just 1 shot. You got to change this, or you'll have to press the button 5 times. I find if I do this, I only have to press the button once. It'll take all 5 images for me. I'm not touching the camera, and I'm not introducing any extra shake or vibration on the camera. Once I do that, I just hit the OK button, and I go back by hitting the I menu key. It takes you back, and now we're in the shooting mode. So if you'll notice in the top right-hand corner, there's a indication up there. I'm going to open the lens up here so you can see that this is going to be a bracketed series. And I'm going to go ahead and take 5 shots right now, and it's set for 8 seconds for my base. I'm going to change that to a ½ second. And what it's going to do, it's going to increment that. There's a ½ second right there. It'll increment that in 1-stop increments. It would be 1-stop plus, 2-stop plus, and then 1-stop minus, 2-stop minus, and the base exposure is at 0 position. So I'm going to go ahead and tell the camera to take the picture. Let's see if it'll focus. I'll have to focus it here. It says low light. Trying to focus, it says low light. So now you're seeing my technical, let me go ahead and open this lens up. I wonder if it would focus up here. Well, you know what? It would help if I took the lens cap off. Ha ha. Okay, so now it's focused. I'm going to tell it to take the shot of this screen, and it's going to do it 5 times. And it took those 5 photographs. So they are the bracketed shots. Now what I'm going to show you is the actual shots I did the other day at a waterfall. And back up just a little bit. Okay, so right here, this is the start of the series. This is a 1 second shot. This is a 1/4 second shot. You do the math on this. It says right there on the screen, -2. You see that? This is a 1/2 stop, which is -1. And then let's see, this is a 2 second, which is +1, and 4 seconds. And I think there's the 0 one in there too. Anyways, once you've got those bracketed shots, then you're done, okay? Now, don't forget when you're finished to go back to the eye menu, okay? And turn those features off, especially this one right here. You want to go back here and change that to 1 shot. The camera will remember, give it back. The camera will remember how many shots you have in here for this, but it won't remember the timer over here. I don't know why Nikon did that. Okay. We're going to change that back to 0, or I mean to 1. Okay, that's it. That's how you take the photographs. Now I'm going to load them up in Lightroom and show you how to do that. Okay, what I've got here is Lightroom loaded, and it's on my computer screen right now, as you can see. And I brought these 5 photographs in of a waterfall I shot just last weekend, actually. And this is a place in East Tennessee called Ozone Falls. It's a pretty popular area. Anyways, I did a 5-shot bracketed series for this. And what I'm going to do is look at the first one, which is right here. And this one here is the, I believe this is the base exposure that I took. Let me see. Yes, it's 0 EV, as you can see right here in Lightroom. And as I select the next one, it'll change. This one is -2, is -2 stops. This is -1 stop. This is +1 stop, and this is -2. So as you can see, I was able to capture everything. And my main goal here was to eliminate some of the highlights at the top of this waterfall. Because it's so narrow in its brink, it's really white there, and it tends to act like it blows out. But if you look at the if you look at the histogram, it's not really blowed out, okay? That one's blowed out. Anyways, what we're going to do now is we're going to select all 5 of these photographs. So we'll start by clicking inside the box. We can actually go back to the grid view and do it. Clicking inside the box of the first photograph, not around the edges of it, inside the box of the photograph. Holding down the Shift key and clicking on the last one. That'll work for PC or Mac, either one. It doesn't really matter. Then I'm going to right-click on the selection, go down to Photo Merge, and select HDR. Now, my settings for HDR merging, I do the auto align, the auto settings, and we want to create a stack, okay? You can always tweak the settings after it builds it. This is the HDR image. We're going to go ahead and say merge. It's going to create a separate file, okay? I'll show you here in just a second. As soon as it's done, it's working up here. You can see the top left corner, it's working. Great. Going a little slow tonight. Apologize for that. It has created a second, or a version that is an HDR file, it's called. Okay, let me go here and let's do this. Let me check the pick flag. Well, thought I checked it. It's in a stack, that's why. Let's put a pick on that. And now we'll look at the pick. So here are the 6 files now, the 5 HDR files, and the one that was merged. It has an HDR extension on it, as you can see here. It's a DNG file. We can go into the develop area and we can see that Lightroom has placed a basic edit on that. Now, that's it. That's how you do an HDR photograph, and that's how you combine them in Lightroom. And I'm going to go on to edit this photograph, but not in this video. I just wanted to show you how to set up to do an HDR using a Nikon camera. So if you found this useful, and I hope you did. Go ahead and give me a like on the screen there. It doesn't cost anything to do that, okay? Until next time, this is Ron Durant. Y'all have yourself a nice evening now. Bye-bye.